Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter and Olu August, and this is not Smart Business Moves.
Good job, Tom. No, it is not smart business moves, but we this will be a smart business move for anybody who's on here watching because Olu he's dying to share this AI stuff. And we're like, heck yeah, let's do it. But we also are super focused right now on foundations. So we want to make sure that everybody who is thinking, should I be going? We do have a room open for you, probably. So we just want to make sure that you are not missing out on the opportunity for foundations as well. Well, we'll share more about that later, but let's jump right into how to use AI to generate more sales. Ola, what did you want to share with us? You're so desperate to share.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. What's going on, guys? So, AI is not new. It's been around since 1950, but now we're
Wait a minute, 1950?
seeing it on a whole different scale.
What?
And
1950, hold on.
1950, AI. Now, AI is not new. AI has been around. So, when we talk about AI, we're talking about a whole umbrella. And actually, I'm learning this as I'm going along as well. When I found this out, I was like pretty shocked. But when we say AI, artificial intelligence, a whole umbrella of what artificial intelligence is, right? It's not just going in chat GPT or using another AI to build some code so you can say, hey, now I have my own AI company, right? So artificial intelligence itself has been around since 1950. But the way that we have access to it now is completely new to us, right? Before it was really big companies, military applications, stuff like that. So let me actually,
I think
how
he's
do I share my screen on this? It says present. It's right there.
Tom. Is he
Tom, you're looking it up? Tom is going to
No,
fact
no,
check me.
no,
I
no.
like
You go ahead. You go ahead.
it.
He's totally looking it up.
No, you should look it up. You should look it up because I actually
Well,
didn't believe it either. But then when it was explained to me, it made sense. So I was telling everyone that I was telling Liz and Tom earlier that my computer is in Spanish. And just when I went to go present it, it's in Spanish. All right, there it is. Boom.
so this is how you're learning
So,
Spanish, is that right? So you,
well, I'm forcing myself to read it and see it and everything. So I speak enough Spanish that I can get by the reading aspect and understanding those. But that's neither here nor there.
Wait,
I'm sure there's a
wait,
way.
wait. But it kind of is here nor there. I just want to make a point that the reason why you're doing that is you're trying to create an immersive experience for yourself because you're going to learn Spanish better if you read it, if you see it, if you're living it every single day. Correct?
For sure,
That's
absolutely.
foundations.
I see
I'm
what you did there.
seriously,
That's
I'm
true. That's
serious.
true.
That is
100%.
foundation. Yeah. So it works.
Actually, in terms of business, I was actually messaging someone a few days ago, and I was saying that I need to get around more entrepreneurs in the local area just because I'm in my area. Yes, there's entrepreneurs and everything, but I'm not as tapped in as to when I go to foundations or ISSA. I'm not as tapped in my local community. And I find that I'm even struggling. But when I come to these events, when I go to these things, I feel like I'm more empowered because I'm around people. We're sharing ideas. Everything's going fast. So I get kind of fueled up. Am I sharing my screen? I click share,
Nice.
present.
um, bang. Now you are.
Bang. Okay, now I am. There's 1,000 me's. So I'm
There we go.
on here. Can everybody still see me while I share?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't see, but we can.
See my handsome face?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So this is Google has been messing around with their AI a lot and really rolling out some things. Some of the things that they put on early on really wasn't working as well, but now it's actually Google's making it easier so that you're essentially going to be able to phase out that middleman calling an agency or dealing with an agency and asking them to set up your Google ads and paying them on a monthly basis because this is just so incredible. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So if you're already running Google Ads, I want to share this. I'm not going to go through and teach you step by step how to create a Google ad campaign and all of that. But this portion right here is called Performance Max. So you would actually just go through, click new campaign, go through the prompts. But this portion here, asset generation, is big. And I'm going to tell you why it's big. So there's something called quality scores on Google. And quality score is, in summary, it's basically looking at what's the quality of the content that the prospect is finding. So that whoever's searching you on Google, what's the quality of the content that they're finding on your website, and how does it relate to what they're actually searching? And Google would give a 1 to 10 score on that. So basically, if somebody was searching house cleaning or deep house cleaning, and they went to your website and that link was for regular maintenance house cleaning, you'd be ranked a little bit lower. Whereas if they went to your site and it was showing deep house cleaning, you'd be ranked a little bit higher in that quality score. Now that's a really basic summary of quality score. But basically, what the person's looking at, how relative is it to what they're getting on your website? Well, this, in my opinion, does away with that. I don't even know if they're even going to need quality scores with this, because what it does is the asset generation. When you create a new campaign on Google, you set up your bidding strategy, campaign settings, which includes location, things like that. Like I said, I'm not going to get into that. You go into your asset generation and you can actually put, so I have my website here. I'm going to take this portion of my website, go back here, and I'm going to put it into here. And what it's doing, it's literally crawling my website for photos, for content, for keywords that are relative. Now, if you guys are using OpenAI, you already know that the quality or how precise you can be with the questions is going to influence everything. Now, I'm no AI expert. I don't want to make it seem like this is
Been
how
around since
I know everything.
1950. Come on now. You should have that down by now.
I know, right? So you made me lose my train of thought, Tom.
You're no AI expert.
Yeah, I'm no AI expert, but I know this much, is that the quality of which, when you're working with like the Chat GPTs, the quality of the questions you ask is going to give a better output. So with this, the asset generation, the more specific you can be about your product. So it pulled all of this from my website. Now, this is only a few sentences. So 268 words, and you notice that you can go up to 3,000. So if you can go more in depth about your service, the AI is going to have more things to work with. So right now you see house cleaning services, residential cleaning, janitorial products and services. Now, the website the link that I just used is for a top to bottom cleaning, which is our in-depth cleaning service for residential. So I want to remove this because it's neither janitorial and we're not offering a product, right? We're offering services, but I want to remove this. So I can put things like deep cleaning, not deep clean if. And you can go on with different keywords. As you can see, you have up to 20 keywords that you can put in there. So you go into the keywords, you go into exactly what you're offering, and you want to click over here. You see, can you see my thing in Spanish?
Yeah, we can see it in Spanish.
I'm afraid to click anything because I might click the wrong thing. That's good.
Could you translate, Olu?
Say again.
Could you translate that for us?
Oh, sure. StreamYard is comparatendo un patella. No, it's StreamYard is showing my screen. Pantalla. So generate as I'm probably saying it wrong. It's funny because when I try to read Spanish, I sound horrible, pero hablo muy bien. You know, I can speak it and not have too much of an accent.
Yeah, that sounded actually pretty good. I was like, ooh, all right.
So right now what it's doing is basically generating all the assets. It's pulling photos. It's getting everything in this from my website and trying to use it to create the best ad. So you go in here, It has apartment cleaning company, top rated apartment cleaning. So it's going to be using these inputs to create headlines. Now, if I wanted to go through, I can change them and add different headlines as well. Again, the better quality you add, like the more things you add, the better the output is going to be on here. We have our long headlines. Obviously, didn't pull anything from my website, probably because there's not that much things on this page. Yeah, there's not many paragraphs. It's just a whole bunch of bullet points. So if you have a page that has more word verbiage, yeah, more content in general, it's going to be better for this.
Okay.
So scroll
So
down.
what exactly are we building here? We're building an ad, is that right? Or we're just building?
Yeah, so we're actually building a whole campaign, not just one ad.
Okay.
Say again? Oh, are we just building what?
I was wondering if we're building an ad or if we're just building an asset, but it sounds like what you're building is the campaign.
Yeah, this whole portion is for the campaign, but I'm right here in the asset portion.
Okay.
So we went to Performance Max. Performance Max is basically the AI campaigns.
So let's back up a little bit. What's a campaign?
So a campaign is it's basically what you would use to promote your company.
Okay.
In short term. So you
How
go
is
to
that
Google
different?
Ads.
How's that different than an ad?
Perfect. So an ad is just what product or service you're offering. It could be, all right, so this is like, for example, we're using deep cleaning, deep house cleaning, top to bottom deluxe. That's the service that we're offering. Whereas the campaign is going to have different things from the hours that it's going to operate. It's going to have my bidding strategy. What's a bidding strategy? Basically, I can say that I don't want to pay more than $50 for a conversion, or maybe I don't want to pay more than $25 for a conversion. So you would do that on the campaign level, but the ad itself would be something different.
Can a campaign can a campaign have multiple ads?
100% multiple ads, which is great because if you had to go and create a campaign for every single ad, it'd be ridiculous. So you can have your campaign structure set up. So I have this campaign that runs Monday through Friday, and it's going to run from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I wanted to not charge more than $50 per conversion. Then you can set up all those ads for different services that you have, from deep cleaning to one-time cleaning. I wouldn't say commercial, although I've done it in the past. I like for commercial to be in its own campaign itself, because I almost feel like it's a whole different ball game. Yeah. You can have multiple ads in there.
So campaign is similar to strategy, is what I'm hearing. It's a much bigger thing. It's not just an ad. It's how we're going to have the ad, who it's going to be targeted at, when it's going to
how we're going to track the conversions. Yeah, everything. What are we going to be tracking as conversion? Is it phone calls? Is it forms that are submitted? Is it every time somebody hits my chat bot on my website, which I'm removing that as a conversion asset. It's bothering me. But yeah, you can have a whole bunch of different things in that. So that's your strategy. That's a great way to put it, Liz. This is my strategy. Yeah.
All right. So
and what do I want my budget to be, right? So
and so how AI is helping, if I'm getting this right, how AI is helping is you're giving AI your website, basically saying, hey, check out my website and help me come up with my strategy based on what you can find on my website, what I do well and what you know about me. And so instead of you having to come up with everything on your own, AI is going to give you a little bit of an assist. Is that right?
Exactly. And I wish I didn't jump ahead and start this before we got on this call, because the image portion, which is actually really cool, for some reason it's making me skip it. I might have to start all over again with that.
In Spanish, no less.
A Coltar.
In Spanish.
That didn't sound good.
Hold on, because I had already generated an asset for this campaign.
Yeah. All right.
Actually...
So one thing that you said in the beginning, while you're doing this, if you don't mind, if you can do two things at the same time, listen and work.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said that Google is now making it easier for us so that we won't have to have, we'll be able to cut out that middleman, be able to get rid of doing, Google AdWords and all of that. What's the benefit to Google in doing this? Why?
So we already see this. If anybody's running campaigns, one thing that you're going to see is that Google will always have their Google account strategists call you, or account managers, whatever they call them, right?
Yeah.
And what happens is they send you something telling you, hey, we want to jump on a call. We're with Google, and they have that authority. So when they tell you, hey, I'm with Google, I want to show you what's going right and what's going wrong in your account, you're more likely going to answer that call,
Yeah.
right? And then you're going to get on with your ads guy. Say again?
You're going to listen.
Exactly. And you're going to get on with the ads guy, and you're going to say, hey, Google said you're doing X, Y, and Z wrong. Let's change this. Now, the benefit to Google is the biggest thing is if you cut out that middleman, if somebody's charging 500, 1,000, 2,000, some people charge a base and a percentage of whatever your ad spend is, right? So if a company is charging you 7% of your ad spend, now all that money, if you can cut them out, can be funneled back into your marketing. And what happens? Google makes more money. So they can eliminate that middleman and you go right to the source. You feel like you're winning because now I don't have to pay somebody $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month.
Perfect.
And Google's winning because that $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month is going back to them if you choose to spend it that way.
Okay, that makes really good sense to me.
There's a fancy word for that. It's disintermediation, eliminating the middleman. And here's an example where artificial
Disintermediation.
intelligence is, reducing jobs.
Right. So not everybody loves it.
Disintermediation.
Yes.
Nice.
But that's
All
good
right.
news. That's good news if you're running a house cleaning business.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%. All right, so this is the image portion here. And
Okay.
what it's doing is it'll pull images. First, Google's going to suggest images. It's going to suggest stock images. It's going to suggest things based on the keywords that's on your website. But you also have the option here to go in and add your own images. So if you go into your asset library, you'll have you added onto there. So you can see here, this is my team. There's some stock photos here, but we really tried to focus on having our team having different things on there. And most of these images are actually just pulled from my Google business. They change the name all the time.
I know. Google My Business or whatever.
Google My Business. Yeah, that's where it's pulled from. By the way, if you haven't done this, this is so inexpensive. Every single one of these photos, guys, every single one of them was taken with an iPhone. And whether your iPhone, Android, I don't care. I don't want to get into that argument. But you can go through and have your team. We scheduled a day and we did pizza and we paid everyone. It was 2 hours minimum. They came to the house. This is my house. They came to my house. I had my phone. We had a whole bunch of lamps and different things for lighting, and we took photos, right? You don't need to set up this professional shoot. And if you do have the budget to set up a professional shoot, great. Personally, I think my photos came out well for my iPhone. Now, it might not be top tier professional. I'm sure a videographer or photographer can look at this and pick it apart, but it cost me, I want to say it cost me under $300 to do everything. People in my house, pizza, pay them 2 hours minimum, take photos. Stop using stock photos if you don't have to. If you have the people on your team, I understand that when you do have the people, when you are just starting out or you don't have as many people, you probably want to use stock photos if you're trying to give this image of being bigger, whatever it is. But as soon as you have the ability, go ahead.
You want photos, I guess is what you're saying. And if all you can do is stock photos, that's better than nothing. But get your phone
Exactly.
out and grab a couple of texts, and a couple hours you can knock this out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And one of the things that I know we always say, and specifically we say this when we're all together at Foundations, but we do say this individually as well, is done is better than perfect, right? So
For sure.
get in
For
there,
sure.
get your phone, take the pictures, get them on there, and bam, you're done. Move on to the next thing. And then later,
For
when you
sure.
have a bigger budget, you have more time, you have when this becomes more of an issue in a different way,
Mhm.
then you can funnel more money into it. But for right now, you probably just need to get pictures up there.
Absolutely, and videos are even better. That saying, if a picture's worth 1,000 words and a video's worth 1,000 pictures,
Hmm.
that really hits
Yeah.
home. So if you can have
That's a lot of words.
videos are even better.
Yeah.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah.
I don't math very well. Tom, how many words is
It's a million.
that?
A
So
lot
this portion, a lot of words. So this portion right here is generating the images. So it says it's when I tell you step by step, guys, just follow the step by steps, and you can actually do this. Describe the kind of image, and I'm gonna find a video step by step that Google has, and I'll share it in the link for this video that we're doing, the live stream that we're doing. That way, you guys can go and just follow that as well. So describe the kind of images you want. So you can put the images you want, the color you want, how you want it to look. I'm gonna put just because I'm not that creative. But again, the more the more input you put in, the more output and the better quality output you're gonna get.
And all this is being
Oh,
supported by AI, I guess, is kind of the point. If you were trying to do this yourself a couple of years ago, this would be a lot more involved.
Oh my gosh.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. From doing research to the headlines, because headlines are really is probably the number one thing with a ad. So headlines that convert, the keyword research that's being done to use on your headline, all of that. But finding the images, putting the images up. Again, if you don't have your own images, as you can see, Google's already putting images for me. And I just put house cleaning blue. I didn't put anything more. I could put someone cleaning a house. And this is 19 words, and you have 1,500 words that you can use. Right, so you can generate more different outputs. You can upload your own images, and you can use the free stock photos that they have on here. Right, so
What about these videos, Olu, that you see? Sometimes people will just take a whole bunch of images and just play them one after the other and turn them into a video. Are those good?
are they good in comparison to having no video, or is the question that? So yeah, that's going to be better than no video.
Okay.
All day is going to be better. You'll stand out a little bit, but just understand that there's so much noise. There's so much noise. Everyone's competing for our attention, and our attention span is brief, right? And I even find I even find myself. I went through my Instagram and started changing the content last year, so I'm only seeing things that are related to traveling, things that are related to business and aviation. And then I get on these things and I'm not even going through the whole video. I'm like, how much information can I cram in the short period of time so I can get onto the next video? By the time you're on video 5, you already forget. So yeah, the video is better than nothing. But the real thing is, how can you make it so that when somebody gets to number 5, you're standing out a little bit more?
Okay.
Right. So that's really what it comes down to. How can I stand out a little bit more? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I know it's beyond scope of what we're doing here, but there's some really cool AI tools that we can look at during foundations that can help make some pretty awesome videos too.
Absolutely. Yeah, videos in your likeness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And are better than our real likeness too.
Or it can take like an hour-long video and do a mashup for you. The tools are incredible.
So we'll
100%.
be doing so one of the things about foundations is that it's different every year. For those of you that have never been to foundations, you don't know that. You're probably thinking it's the same program that's always been, but it's not. It's different every single year. So when I ask this question that I'm going to ask right now, it's not because I am just feeding the stream. It's because I really don't know. So my question, Olu, is will we be doing any of this kind of work at foundations this year? What will we be building anything with AI as one of our workshops, or can you tell us anything about that?
Absolutely. So, what's funny? One of the classes that I taught last year, which ended up being it was 1 hour class and a 1 hour workshop, or no, it was a 1 hour class, and we spent the rest of the day with this workshop because we were reaching out to our customers and everything. Um, I'm embarrassed to say that that class can be done in 5 minutes, and I'm
Now,
talking about the workshop. Yeah, the workshop portion can be done by the attendees at the mansion in 5 minutes and save them a whole bunch of time, right? So it's really how do we utilize these tools? And I think it was Darren Hardy who had said this. In the future, there's going to be in 10 years, there's going to be two kind of businesses: those that are utilizing AI and those that are out of business,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
how do we use this as a force multiplier? And that's really what it is. It's a force multiplier. How do we leverage it in our companies? And then regardless how you feel about it, whether you know Skynet's coming or whatever it is, I mean, progress is coming. So learn it and really try to utilize it in your company. There's no reason not to. Every single person in my office is using one or two AI tools at any given time because it's exactly that. It's a force multiplier, right? So highly, highly recommend it. I mean, my company where we have, what's up, dude?
what's up, dude?
Have 3 people in the office full time, and it's my kid. Yeah, that's how I speak to my kids.
So
What is it?
that actually is a really one of the points that I wanted to make that I'm really happy that you brought up, because a lot of times when people are resistant to something like AI, right? And they're just, it's too hard. I don't know how. It's just, I don't know how to do it the right way. You know, all of just so much resistance. That's also one of the things that I love about Foundations is that we have a workshop for every class that we teach. So you actually do the thing, which makes it so much easier. Now there's nothing to be afraid of. Now you've learned how to do it. You can just do a little bit more of it. It makes it so much easier. So I'm glad that we are going to be working with AI in some of your classes. And I actually love what you said, that what we spent all that time on last year, this year is 5 minutes. That's amazing. That's kind of the
yeah, it is. It is.
If we were having this discussion 3 years ago, we'd be saying, hire an agency. This is just too much. You really don't want to spend your time on it. But the world's changing, you know, and technology is driving, AI is driving a lot of it.
And to that point, Tom, 100%. That because I think we spoke a little bit about this the other day. You know, I think that if you're, and I know there's different levels. 100% is different levels, and I'll speak to a company that is maybe at $500,000 and really looking to break that gap in terms of setting up your internal marketing department.
Yeah,
it has never been easier to really build your own team and set up the people in place so that they can audit the work of the people that are doing the stuff, right? And you don't have to be that person. You don't have to be 100% tech savvy. There are certain things that you need to be able to look at, and there's certain things that you need to be able to ask in order to help make the right decision. But once you have that in that framework in place, you have that foundation in place. Like, I didn't mean to do that on purpose. That foundation in place for building your internal marketing department, it's going to be able to just run itself and stay on autopilot. And you don't have to hire a $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a year marketing manager, because that's the thing with our industry. We're working with such low margins that it's very costly to make those 6-figure hires, right? Other companies, they can go in and spend $100,000 to $250,000 on a marketing manager. But in our industry, we have to really learn how can we be frugal, but not frugal to the point where we're stopping progress. There's frugal to the point where, like, hey, I don't want to spend on anything, and we're just gonna do word of mouth because we've always done it. And that doesn't, it only works for so long. We have to invest in this, and you can build your own internal marketing team that you can give your playbook, your business playbook to, and have them work to scale your company. and have them give you reports, right? You're there, you're having the reports on a weekly, monthly, whatever basis you want. I'd say in the beginning, but that's one of the things that I'm going to be teaching is how to. I was telling Tom that one of my measurements for success is by the time you leave the mansion, you're going to have either for companies that are smaller, you're going to have your marketing team already built out, and that can be 2 people, right? Your internal marketing team, right? And that's cutting out the middleman. You're not going through this agency to do this, that.
And you're saying
the
2
bigger
people,
companies-
but that's not necessarily like 2 full-time people where that's all they do.
No, no, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So the thing is, at a smaller scale, there's only so much you can do, right? For example, SEO, once you get it set up, the first 90 days is really the brunt of the work. And then it's really just kind of going on a weekly basis. So you're not going to have somebody there 40 hours sitting there, like, new keyword I've discovered, right? So, but it's how do you put those people in place and get them to understand the mission, understand the vision? Because the problem is, you hire these people who don't understand the message, who don't understand your branding, right? You hire a branding person and they give you a branding package. You hire a Google person and they do Google ads. You hire an SEO person and the message is so conflicting and it's not clean across the board. So how do you build a team that's going to be running on your playbook, your Bible, and not to be sacrilegious, your business Bible on how your brand looks like?
So TC has a question here. She wants to know how to get this info when you're not going to foundations. So, how you get information is always the same. You got to look for it unless you find it all in one place, right? You're going to have to look for it. You're going to have to find a way to bring it on. Do you have any hints or tips of where people can go to find this, learn this? But I do want to say one thing real quick. So one of the struggles that I see a lot of the time with the people in my circles is they do one of 2 things. They either want to hire this big fancy company or they want to jump in and they want to learn everything. And so if you can talk a little bit too, right? Yeah, no, not this and also not this. Can you talk a little bit to what they could be doing?
What they could what?
What they could be doing. So not those extremes of hire this company.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about building your internal marketing department, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Specifically.
In that sense, I was okay. So yeah. So as far as what you just said, Liz, oh my goodness, you're so spot on. And I'm one of the people that ended up like, I got to learn all this stuff, but I enjoyed that aspect of it, so it wasn't taken away from my day. But I do see it where people are jumping in, they're trying to learn everything. Meanwhile, they still haven't figured out how to get somebody else to answer their phones for them, right? So that gets a little challenging when you're trying to do that. So as far as where can you learn it, like there's in terms of building your own market. This is, first of all, I'm not gonna make it seem like it's like, secret society stuff. It is more in depth what I'm gonna be teaching. So it's not a 30-minute conversation that, hey, go on some freelancing website and hire people. That's also the other part is go on some freelancing website and hire people. But the question, the thing is, you have to know how to screen those people. You have to be able to ask the right questions. And how do you get yourself to a proficiency level enough that hey, these are the questions. These are the set of questions that I need to ask for the SEO guy. This is a set of questions I need to ask for the Google guy, the branding guy. So you need to understand.
It's really easy to hire the wrong
I'll give
people.
you something you can do right now.
It's way too easy.
Yes,
it's way
and
too
it
easy
costs
to
a
hire the
crap
wrong
ton.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way easier.
Absolutely.
Way easier to hire the wrong people. I have a lot of practice.
And we all know this, right? So even with the strategies that I'm going to be giving, it's not like, hey, 100% once you do this and you post the ad this way and you ask the questions this way, it's not going to be 100% good hire. How many times have we sat across from someone, we're like, man, this person's going to work out. I know they're going to work out. They're a dud, right? So It is, you do have that element involved, and I'm hoping that we can mitigate that risk and lower it as much as possible. And one of the things that I use to mitigate risk is whenever I'm working with someone, let's say, for example, I'm hiring someone, let's say I needed a VA, right? I need a VA to just handle emails. Something as simple as that. I want somebody who has at least 95% completion rate. Right? If you go to Upwork, for example, they have completion rate. I want to know that they're completing their tasks at least 95% of the time. Now, you say 100%, but I'm good with that 95% grace period, 95% rating. The other thing is, depending on the work that I'm looking for, I want to make sure that person has earned a lot of money. Why? Because if people are hiring them consistently, then they might be halfway decent, right? And I don't want the guy that comes up and he says, "Hey, I'm gonna check your emails for $3 per hour," and you look and he's only made $100, right? I'm like, no, I'll go to the guy that's a little bit more. Sometimes it's a little bit better to pay a little bit more than pay a little less and get much less. So find somebody who's earned a little bit more money. So what's that threshold? It really depends on what you're looking for again, right? So if you're looking for a VA, I might say, hey, you're screening emails. I'm good with somebody who's earned $10,000. If you're looking for somebody to write copy, maybe I'm looking 15 to 20,000, right? So the threshold changes based on the service that you're looking for.
I have
So,
a question. Back to our AI thing here.
Mhm.
What do you think about going and finding a bunch of people at whatever platform I'm looking at, grab a bunch of their information, and can I plop it into my maybe not OpenAI, but maybe a more sophisticated AI tool, and can I plop those people in there along with the who I am, who my company is, and say, who's my best hire? Make some recommendations.
I've put people's resume on ChatGPT before.
Yeah.
So I haven't gone in depth as putting a whole bunch of people in pools, but I put a resume in before and it's worked. So that's something that you can definitely do. I don't see why not.
That.
I have not.
What did you put? You put the resume in, and what did you ask for?
So I actually cheated. I didn't feel like reading the whole resume and the cover letter. So I said, give me the summary. I was just looking for the summary. I whenever somebody send me something long form, I'm like, oh, just know that because it's long, you just shut my brain down.
Yeah.
So I just went and got the cliff notes from the resume. But there's no reason why you couldn't put your company. So for example, Tom and I had a whole conversation about building a cleaning company to the hundreds of millions, a residential cleaning company, hundreds of millions a few months back. And one of the things that I had done before I had spoken to Tom was I put in depth my entire company, from the people that I had to the customer to employee ratio that I needed in order to meet this, and what my management team looked like right now, conversion. And I asked it to spill out, how can I scale this company to $300 million with this format, right? So it did come out with some things. Some things were useful. Some things were like, you already know this is junk.
Yeah.
But what I realize about OpenAI specifically is that it gives you a framework, and you got the bones, and it's your job to go out there and put some meat on the bones and get the muscle stronger, right? A lot of stuff that it gives you is really, really good, but it's still far from giving you the answer. It's still far from that right now.
But there's a lot of people working on AI hiring tools. You Google it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there you can license today. But
100%.
they're collecting performance data, and they're using that and kind of layering over, what are the attributes that you're looking for in somebody that you're hiring. There's all kinds of legal stuff associated with this, because a lot of these AI tools are not normalized. There's like bias and so forth. So you got to be a little bit careful with some of that. But there's third parties. What you're describing, Liz, the day's coming, and it's probably not that far away, that an AI is going to be telling you out of these 200 candidates who want this job, here are the top 3 that you should be talking to.
Now, I haven't been on Indeed in months, but is that maybe it's not their AI, maybe it's not, but they have like you can put a questionnaire portion and it matches. It'll tell you the candidate how the percentage of how good of a match they are. So that's, I mean, that's something that probably we develop more. Tom just said.
Indeed's kind of conflicted in a way. They don't want to make it
Mhm.
too easy, and they don't want you to be too good at it. They're okay
Yeah.
if you make a bad hire because you're going to be back and doing it again.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I wish
Right.
they had a portion for cleaning companies that says, "Hey, we just need to consistently be hiring, keep it open."
Just keep it open and like only charge me when I need somebody.
One thing on AI for anybody on the commercial space looking at this, someone had just put me onto this, and I haven't gone in and really dived in. So, but you can check it out yourself. It's called Apollo, and it's an AI that basically does all the data mining for you. It puts in the customer's name, you know, the point of contact that you want to reach, their email, their numbers, and all that stuff. And the dashboard, it allows you to keep accurate notes. So if you're doing cold calling, and I know when I used to work for this company called CleanNet USA back when I was like 19 years old, we did cold calling for cleaning companies, right? So this dashboard just has a whole bunch of information, and it's all AI driven, and it keeps giving you a list. So if you have a commercial cleaning company and you're looking for leads, Apollo is the name, I believe it is. I haven't checked it out myself, but that was the first time I heard about that.
Okay, awesome. I haven't heard of that one. I can't wait. So I did want to speak to real quick, TC, your question, you know, how can we get more of this information? Keep in mind what Olu was sharing in the very beginning is go into Google, start there. You know, you don't need more than that to get started. Go into Google. And what was the name of the place that you're supposed to go? I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, so new campaigns, Performance Max. And here's the thing about Google as well. Google has, like, they publish so many different articles, how-tos, tutorials. And the truth of the matter is it's just boring. That's why everyone doesn't read through every single piece of it and do it to the Google standard. That's really it.
Have classes, certification programs.
Yeah.
If you really want to go deep, you can.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for the course, right? The first time I started doing Google Ads, it was a course that I had purchased. Before I knew Google had all this information, you know, so for free, I paid a good amount for that course. So,
well, we are about 10, 12 minutes, I guess, from the top of the hour. Do we want to take a minute and just talk about what we're going to be doing here in a week or so and how all of this kind of ties together? And
I don't know about you guys. I'm going to be on the beach working on my tan because last year I didn't even get to touch the sand.
Oh my gosh, me either. But this year I'm absolutely gonna hit the beach a little bit. It is harder as one of the instructors, right? Because we've got this agenda that we're trying to fulfill.
Yeah.
But
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how intense it was with diving into everyone's company, making sure, like, going into their accounts and everything, to add accounts, making sure the structure is good. But this year, Tom is getting Tom and I are getting matching Foundations 13 Speedos. So
okay, so what you're saying is that's the number one reason why people should go to Foundations.
I don't remember talking about that.
We just decided right now. One cheek is gonna say F, the other one 13.
Not everybody's excited.
Don, you.
That's just yeah.
I've never worn a Speedo. I'm just joking.
That's not really happening. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was good. That's like oh well, I don't know. We got some
everyone just exited. Yeah, Linda.
All right. So seriously though, one of the things I really wanted to bring up, we're talking about foundations, is a lot of times people are saying, I've talked to so many people this year, especially, that have said, you know, I think I'm going to do it next year. But I hate that because every single time somebody says, I'm going to do it next year or next year or next year. And then when they finally do it, 100% of the time, what I hear is, I don't know why I waited. I would have been already a year ahead if I would have done it last year. They always say, I wish I would have done it last year. I wish I would have done it a long time ago. So that's just a huge thing. If you're one of those people that's thinking that, I'm not sure, or, it's so expensive, or I can't afford it, or all of those arguments. I just want, Dawn, I know for you, Dawn says best training she ever attended. I work with her a lot. So,
and a year is a long time, especially in a year. A lot happens in a year, and you're basically, if you think about what we just talked about here with AI and how that completely changed what we would be sharing regarding paid digital marketing, giving up a year without taking advantage of that information and all the other things that you'd be doing, you're the compounding effect and scaling your business and everything else. I mean, a year is a long time to wait.
And too many things change in a year. You can get behind so fast. And now you're one of the people that's doing everything by paper. When are you going to come out of that? Right? You got to get into the new, I don't know what to call it, the new sphere.
We run our businesses differently now than we did 5 years ago, is the long and the short of it.
2 years ago.
100%.
1 year ago. Okay. All right. Picture of the mansion. So for those of you that haven't seen it, don't know anything about it, there are 12 rooms. And once they're gone, they're gone. But what ends up happening is people end up sharing rooms because get down to the wire. What happens right now is people are getting to the point where they're like, I'll do anything so that I can go. Y'all, I know this is for you. All of you that have waited the last
1 week left, right?
Yeah, that's it. A week and 4 days, right? Until
week and 4 days
start. Yeah, this is it. So for those of you that haven't really quite understood what the mansion looks like, this is the pool, and see how little you just walk down those stairs, and there's the big pool, right? That's where the beach is. It's just right downstairs. So I don't know. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful place. We have another picture of just the beach, I think, on there.
I don't know about anybody else, but like just having a visual of the ocean motivates me. So like having that visual while I'm working, forget about it, because you're there and you look to the left and the ocean's right there. Like for me, that energizes me.
And so when we're doing like the classroom stuff, you're sitting in this really huge room with nothing but glass. You can see the ocean. You take a break, you can go stretch your legs and actually walk out to the beach. And, take 5 minutes and you're back and ready to go again.
And a lot of people do that, right? They just take a quick, and even just going out onto the back balcony, right? And just breathing in that fresh air is like so invigorating. Yeah, so much food.
More food, a lot of food.
So much food at Foundations. It's ridiculous. Yeah. You will have a great time meeting the different people and just chatting with everybody, sharing ideas. It's a different type of environment. Lifelong friendships are created. Some of these people, these people hardly even look the same nowadays. I should have a throwback. This should be like a throwback picture here. All three of these.
None of them look the same anymore.
They all look so different now. This is the classroom. You can't see the windows, but on the left-hand side of this, the entire wall is windows. So that's what you're looking at with the ocean. This is what it's like, y'all. You really do have this time to go out on the beach and kind of repair. A lot of us, especially in this industry, work so hard day in, day out. Many of the people that are going to foundations are really, they're beat down by their businesses. They're exhausted. They have been working so many hours, so hard for so long. And yes, we're going to work you harder.
They're stuck. They're stuck.
It is stuck. You're on that path. So, quick agenda. This is the first day. We have initial one-on-one consultations. So you meet with us on that first day, and we help design your schedule. Every person that goes through foundations every year will have a different agenda that you're going to follow. There are some times when you'll be meeting with Olu or myself, or in this case, we'll have Aja here this year. So you might be meeting with Aja. And the rest of the time, we're going to help you design the classes that you need to go to and the workshops that you need to be in to create the different things that you need to be creating in your business. So initially, it's just that initial one-on-one consultation. Kind of get clear, kind of get your head in the game, figure out the mindset that you need to get started, and what you're going to be focusing in on.
You're there for a purpose. And if you're stuck, if there's something that you're trying to accomplish in your business, this is kind of where we lay it out. A lot of times you don't even know until you have the discussion. And there's a whole lot of data that we get prior to this. So we're kind of able, there's assessments and numbers, and there's a lot of material that we have to help us through this day one goal setting process.
Go to that next agenda page, Tom. I think it's Monday. Yeah, Monday you'll see, it's kind of hard to see on here, but you can.
Yeah, it is hard to see.
Yeah, if you can, it shows that some of your pre-work, that you'll have to have your pre-work for class number 4. You'll have some pre-work that needs to be done for the different time frames. You will have a decision-making tool that you'll need for 3. Everybody will take a DISC assessment. So we'll be talking in depth about DISC, and different behavioral styles. We start the week off with who you are and what you really want from your business to make you happy. If we don't know what you want, we can't get you there. So no two businesses are having the same experience.
Lucky, we're starting at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
Let me interrupt right there.
Yeah.
With what you just said, Liz, with what you want. Many times we don't take the time to actually do that exercise. Mm-hmm. And for those of you watching that are kind of really on the fence, like, hey, I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I want to go right now. I want to wait till next year. At least do that exercise.
Yeah. Take
a blank sheet of paper and start with the end in mind. Like, why are you doing any of it? Right? Why is this any of it important? So initially for me, when I started my cleaning company, I was getting out of the military, and I wanted to make sure I could provide for my family and my newborns, my wife, all that. Right? So really start with that and ask yourself, all right, what has changed since I started my company? Was 2023 similar to 2022 to 2021? Right? Are things changing and trending to where you want it to be? And if it isn't, ask yourself, what happens if I do nothing? Will I be in the same position next year? Now, what happens if you change everything you've been doing and try a winning strategy? Where are you going to be next year? Where are you going to be in 2025? Where are you going to be 4, 5, 10 years from now? Right? I've only been in business since 2015, and I'm very happy with the level of success that I've been able to achieve and the things that I've been able to accomplish in that short period of time. And I would say the bulk of it came in the past 4 to 5 years, past 5 years. So what can life look like for you? Can you hit your why in 5 years? Can you change the trajectory of your family in 5 years, right? So in 5 years, 5 years is going to pass. Do you want to be better because of the 5 years passing? Or do you want to be in the same position starting late saying, I wish?
Mm-hmm. So. And 1 year can make that change. 1 year, many times, you got to get that big shift that gets you on the right path. Because right now, the path you're on, if it's working, awesome, excellent. But if it's not working, you need a new path. You got to get there. You got to get on that new path.
You say big shift, but sometimes it's not huge. It's just getting clarity as to what it is, and it makes a big difference.
So true. I can think of many, many people that all they needed to really learn was their numbers. Right, Tom?
Oh.
And once they understood, oh, I can make decisions about my whole company based on these numbers. Oh, I get it.
Somebody will cry. Somebody will cry when they get to that point.
Always. Yeah. And same thing that we've had where people are like, I can't manage people. I can't manage people. And just one class is like, oh, I get it. Now I understand how to manage people. So wherever that breakthrough is, but a lot of times it is just
that's my favorite class too, by the way. And that exercise that you did with me, that was solid.
Which one? I don't even remember which one.
When I had to stay mad at you, and as you tried to work through and give me, and I guess I messed up. I didn't do something I was supposed to do as an employee. And I was supposed to remain upset, and you had to work through that barrier.
Yeah.
And literally, I was trying to stay upset. It wasn't working.
Hard. Yeah, it's so hard. It's a good one.
So we're working all the way up to about 8 o'clock. So it's a 12-hour day. So that sounds like, boy, that's a lot of work. But when you're learning and having fun, it doesn't, I mean,
you're tired at the end of the week. That's true. But it's a totally different kind of tired. And throughout the day, you're moving. You're not just sitting in a chair and that's it. You're sitting and learning. No.
Because the other cool part of it is you're going to be staying up all night, hanging out with a bunch of cool people in this really beautiful setting.
Yeah. So true.
And Wednesday, I mean, we just got a few of them. It was kind of the same thing, right?
Same basic thing. You can see the different classes. You see that after every class, we have a workshop. Sometimes we have an individual workshop where you're going to work on something specific to your individual business, or we'll have a group workshop where we're all going to kind of work together to create something. Yeah, Linda, I would say Linda's exactly right. Oops, sorry. I think somebody shared
a lot of numbers and operations and KPI stuff here on Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't share all of the days, but there's just because it's follows somewhat similar format for each day.
Saturday. Tell us about Saturday.
So Saturday, I think, is a really, really important day. It's a really short agenda. It's a short day. But what we do on this day is you build your plan. So this says 2024 annual planning. You will build all the way through the end of this year, maybe even a little bit into next year. What are you going to be doing month by month to be able to build out your entire plan? We've made a few changes, like we do with everything, to make this easier to implement, because what can happen is you can get a little overwhelmed and you can end up feeling like, whoa, there's so much. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So we've changed the process just a little to make it a little easier to implement over the course of the year. But this is a big day.
So everything that you work on for the entire week, this is where we tie it together into an action plan.
Yeah. And we set you up with your accountability partners. I know Dawn's on here, and I'm pretty sure she is still, their accountability group is still running strong a year later. So just keeping
Liz, I mean, the foundations isn't okay. Actually, I was going to ask you about. Go ahead.
There's all kinds of stuff going on here. What is all this, Liz?
So these are just the add-ons. This is not the program. This is not what you're going to get at the program. This is not your new training manual. This is not your safety manual. This is none of that. This is on top of foundations. You're also going to get 6 months of strategic circle membership. You've probably heard people talking about the circles, and you're going to get 6 months. This is where we're going to help you get on track and do the things that you plan on doing, the things you said you're going to do. The next thing is you get access to Circle specials. So as a Circle member, you have access to certain specials that nobody else has. This is listed as $5,500, but really when I added up everything afterwards, I came up with closer to $15,000 in potential value that you could get out of just being a member of the Circles. You also get 8 hours of one-on-one coaching. So on top of your Circle membership, 8 hours of one-on-one coaching to help make sure that you personally stay on track with your objectives. The next is you get the 2024 Profit Maximizer. This tool is amazing. This tool is basically Traction all in one tool. So if you've heard of Traction, this is the entire Traction program in one tool that you can take and you can implement in your business instead of paying $6,000 an hour for someone else to come in and teach you how to use it. You get a market analysis workbook. Find out what's going on actually in your actual market and fill out this workbook and you'll know exactly where you should be in your market. You get the Foundations Live Success Series that Tom and I do twice a month. For this, you get a year's worth of that Foundations or that Success Series. 2025 Goal Setting Workshop that will be happening in Dallas this year in October with Tom and Megan Likes and myself. And you have access to that. You have access to membership in the Listening Cells Crispy community. This is a private group just for sales. Dig into your sales and increase your sales margins every single month as part of this membership. Reach for the Stars Employee Engagement Program. You want to have a program where your people feel more engaged because they are reaching for their own goals. Here's a program to help you with that. And you get your own personalized DISC assessment and debrief that we do for every single person. It's over $15,000 in add-ons, not the program.
Wow. So if I want to know more, if I
Olu
want
Olu had something there. He's like, what?
what you got, Olu?
No, go back to that slide real quick. The one before, access to Circle specials. Okay, so
This one.
okay, so I was looking at the $5,500 value versus $3,000 value, and I'm like, how is that less than the Circle membership? So guys, for Circles, by the way, I feel like Liz knows it, so she didn't explain it as well. So let me tell you what it is.
Okay.
Imagine every single week you got a group of business owners that are facing the same challenges as you, that understand what you're going through, right? You sit with them, you meet with them, and you guys can help each other problem solve. Not only that, you get a specific day where it's your turn. Hey, this is what I'm going through, and everyone kind of helps you problem solve that issue. That's just one portion of it. The other portion is making sure that you get the crap done that you said you're going to get done because you're going to be held accountable by the team, right? It's easy when it's just you and you're in charge of you to not do the things. And it's different when you're sitting in front of everybody and you're like, oh, I didn't do it, right? So that aspect, like Tom told me this months ago, and I realized that it's so true. Tom said professional management is boring. And it's true. And when you look at the people that are really achieve a high level of financial success in their industry, is because they did the same boring stuff day in, day out without losing that steam. So when you start losing that steam, sometimes you need somebody to push you. So that's why I think there's a lot of value in the Circles right there. Like that alone should just be by itself and give half of Foundations and that's the value right there, in my opinion. So that's why I was like, wait, you didn't explain that well, Liz.
Yeah. Sorry. You're right. I've been doing it for a few years now, and I'm used to it. I do it I'm working in Circles every single day. So yeah.
Sure, I get it.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to get more information or sign up, I guess we're going to be starting on the 16th. So we're, a week and a half out?
1 week, 4 days, 12 hours, 36 minutes and 45 seconds. That was when I put this together maybe a couple hours ago. So Less time than this.
Time's ticking.
Cleaningfoundations.com. Is that the magic URL?
That's the magic URL.
I'm going to drop that in chat.
All right. Cleaningfoundations.com. Get don't wait.
And for those of you that are going to be attending, for those that are going to be attending, that are thinking about attending, and you guys heard me talk about the marketing aspect, building your own marketing team. Like I said, we're going to be trying to get at least a framework really completed in Foundation so that you already have ads running while you're there in the workshop. You're screening applicants. I'll be there with you screening applicants. But for those that are like, hey, I need this completed, after Foundations, if you want to sit with me one-on-one, once you attend, I'll give you guys 1 hour and we'll go through the candidates together. So everybody that attends 1 hour with me going through those candidates together to really help sift them out.
Awesome. Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but when I have somebody that's sitting with me one-on-one, man, I get so clear and I can just make it happen. Just need somebody to sometimes drill, right? Makes a huge difference. All right, let this be your year. Don't wait another year. Don't be looking back on a year and be thinking, darn, I really wish I would have done something, because here I am, this much ahead instead of this much ahead.
Too much information and too much is out there right now that you can utilize to scale. You shouldn't be in the same position you are in right now.
Right.
I say this, and I think I said it last time we spoke. With the information that I have now, I could scale a company using the same resources I had before in terms of finances, 0 to $1 million in 3 years, depending on the market. I want to make sure that's clear, because some markets can't bear that. But the information is there. If you're in a great market and your competitor is doing $1 million, your friend is doing this person is doing $1 million. I met somebody who was in Dallas, no, Houston. Him and his wife both had competing companies, and they were both over $1 million. They were competing with each other. Like, if you're in these markets, there's no reason why you shouldn't go out there. The fruit's hanging. I mean, if you go out there, just grab it, go get it.
Yeah.
Should we?
Yes, Dawn. There is a what's it called, Tom? Low country boil?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a low country boil this year, Dawn. Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share here? We're a little past the top of the hour.
No.
I have a beach date, so I'm going to bail on you guys soon. We're going to go watch the sunset.
Okay. Seriously, if you've ever thought about doing Foundations, now is, when was the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago? When's the second best time? Today.
Yeah, today.
So I'm looking forward to it. Hope to see some of y'all there.
Reach
Thanks
out
for joining
to me
us
on Facebook too. For those of you that are my Facebook friends, like a lot of you, you can reach me, DM me on Facebook, and I'll talk to you real quick.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
It'll be great.
Thanks, see y'all later. Bye-bye.